everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Funny Business Podcast. Unfortunately, we are doing another remote episode, but that doesn't mean we are going to not going to have a lot of fun today. Matt, how are you today? You look like you just got back from golfing. How was it?
It was great. Shot a 99. I was under some pressure because I had a par 17 and 18 to shoot under 100, and your boy parred 17 and 18 to shoot under 100. Hit like a 15-foot putt on 18, and feeling pretty good. Not just gonna forget about the first 16 holes.
Yeah, I mean that's it's at the end that matters. It's when everybody crosses the finish line. No one ever thinks it's in between in the middle at all. So
especially it's even better when you beat the person you're playing with.
Yeah, which I heard he's a listener of the Funny Business Podcast.
He is a listener. Yes.
Yeah. So to that person, we won't mention who because that's free advertising for him.
No free ads.
You lost. Well, Matt, we're going to run the show like we always do. First half is entertainment. Second half is sports. What was really funny, I wanted to mention to you, Matt. So I was going through my hard drive the other day because I had to find a particular file from my work that not necessarily that I needed for my own work, but someone else needed it from a different department. Okay. And I was looking through my stuff, and I found my old radio shows back when I did my undergrad. We ran Sean Lynch. Shout out to Sean Lynch. Sean is actually part of the production team for WWE, believe it or not. So I had a wonderful opportunity of getting to know what he does, and just absolutely fabulous. But Sean and I used to run a show called Rush Hour. Did you ever listen to that?
Not gonna lie, I never listened to 1 minute of Cougar Radio.
That's okay. The funniest thing is, Matt, is that our Rush Hour show, first half is entertainment, second half is sports.
Really?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And I was like, oh my goodness, I just replicated what I did as a radio show now into an actual podcast.
That's like some major foreshadowing right there.
Yeah, wow.
Big time foreshadowing.
I mean, it was called Rush Hour because it was at 3:30, and we thought that there was Rush Hour at 3:30. So not good with the names. I mean, same with Funny Business, but there's a reason behind it. So
yes, good movie though, Rush Hour.
Really? Is that a movie?
It's the one with Chris Rock and Jackie Chan.
Gotcha. Yeah, okay, that makes sense now. But Matt, what also was funny too was now on the opposite end of the sports segment, Sean actually had trivia every time. So we had a competition between each other of the trivia. But I'm gonna just flip my topics because screw you for last week. Actually, number one, giving me a quiz. Number two, making fun of me that I don't use originality with my quizzes. So
no, I just pointed out the fact that I handpicked the questions. I didn't make fun of you.
Well, you were kind of sassy there, and I think people can tell. I think people can tell.
Not sassy.
I think you were just a little bit. So I'm gonna fire it back at you. This is an original quiz. Okay. We will see how well you perform on remembering which episode belongs to which topic for the entertainment topics in the past 17 episodes. 17 episodes? 17 episodes.
Bullshit. Is there 18 questions? Save us 17 questions?
So there's actually 16 questions because episode 10 was Take It, and I felt like since you were the one who controlled that, you would. So I have every episode filled in as far as a question. So be sure to utilize that.
I think I can do this.
Besides episode 10 and this episode, because obviously we're recording it. So
makes sense.
So are you ready, sir?
I'm ready. Bring it on.
So it's fill in the blank because you gave me one of those last week too.
Okay.
So the first question, the topic, traumatic childhood experiences.
It's an early episode. That was episode 2.
Final answer?
Yes.
You are wrong. It's episode 1.
I thought it was episode 1. Damn it. I should have known that one.
All right. Ready for the next one?
Yep.
Promposals and gender reveals.
I have no idea on this one. I'm going to say episode 12. Final answer.
You're wrong. It's episode 11.
Damn it. This is going to be awful. I'm going to bomb this so hard.
Question 3. If you could have lunch with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be?
That was kind of an early episode, I think. So I'm going to say episode 5.
Final answer?
Yep.
Episode 6.
I was gonna say 6. Damn it! Get your head in the game.
Question. Trivia 4. Topic: Woman eats engagement ring while sleeping.
Ooh. Okay, that was a later one. That would have been episode 15. Final answer.
You're way out of range. It's episode 4.
Wow. That was episode 4.
Yeah, episode
Oh
4.
wow. That feels like it was just like yesterday. That's so weird.
All right, I hope you get this one. We interviewed Trevor Abney.
Episode 12.
Final answer?
Yep.
That is correct.
Okay.
It's,
Yeah, that was an
episode
easy
12.
That was an easy one.
When we shared an embarrassing story about each other. Question 6.
This is a tough one. Embarrassing story. I'm going to say episode 5. Final answer.
Incorrect. It's episode 3.
Okay. It's not what I was thinking in my head.
We had Emily Wenzel on the show as a guest.
That would be episode 5.
That is correct.
Yes. See, if you give me an easy one, I'm going to get it.
Easy ones, dude. You're not batting that well, my friend. But we're gonna move on to the next question. Love is Blind review.
Love is Blind would have been episode 14.
Final answer?
Yep.
You're wrong. It's episode 9.
Wow. The hell was I thinking of?
I know what you're thinking of. It'll come up later.
Oh, I do know what I'm thinking of. That was because that was the first review that we did.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
that makes
it was.
sense now.
Question, is that 9? Yeah. Drive-through strip club.
Drive-through strip club would be episode 8. Final answer.
Yeah, you got it, man.
Oh, I knew it was because that was the
Are
name
you
of it.
cheating?
No, absolutely not. I don't cheat.
Because if we were in person, I would be able to see you dead wrong, but you may
There's
have
my
it up on
hands.
your screen.
Hold
Yeah,
my hands
okay,
up.
the hands. Let's share your screen there, buddy. I'm kidding. Let's not do that. That'll mess up the recording. Yes, next topic. Too hot to handle review.
That would be episode 14. Final answer.
Okay, there you are right with that one. Top 10 chain restaurants.
Oh, chain restaurants. That is episode 2. Final answer.
Yep, you got it.
Yeah,
Episode
okay.
2, my friend.
Yeah, I knew that was one of the beginning ones.
We took a best friends challenge. Next question.
Episode 15. Final answer.
That is incorrect. It's episode
16.
13. 13.
Oh, damn it.
The time I made you a dating profile.
That was like 2-3 episodes ago. Episode 16. Final answer.
That is correct.
Yes.
A favorite memory about us.
I don't even remember what episodes I've said. Episode 7. Final answer.
That's correct.
Bingo. Let's go.
The futon.
Episode 7. Yeah, episode 7. No. Hold on. Wait a minute. Episode 17. Yeah.
I was like, Matt, it was literally just last week's episode.
I was trying to remember what episode this was off the top of my head. And I just couldn't do it.
And last one, MLB fan cutouts.
Episode. Which one didn't I say? Episode 15. Final answer.
That's correct,
Okay.
man. All right, so you got
So
a
I got
total.
like 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You had 9 out of
Wow.
16.
That
So
actually didn't feel like I got that many.
you were batting over 500, my friend. So I'm glad
This is
you.
what I do. I just ace these quizzes.
Sure.
It's in my blood.
Well, hopefully you listening remembered all of those topics and enjoyed some of the content that was produced there. We're almost coming up on episode 20, which is even crazier. So
It's just insane to think about.
right, we don't even know what the heck we're gonna do for 20. 10
No.
was great, but 20 we got to step up our game and make it a little
Yes.
bit better.
Always.
So, Matt, we're actually going to move into the actual entertainment topics. I actually put, ladies and gentlemen, I put that as the third topic. I said trivia because screw you. That's literally what I put in the actual subject line. But we're going to move on with our regular topics for today. We got 2 for you. The first one that we do want to talk about is about video games. I know that is a big turnoff for some of you, but to some others, and maybe if you aren't necessarily a fan of it, you may actually be a fan of it. Because quoting one of our live streamers that we follow, it's easy. It's an easy game, but for him himself, our streamer, Mr. Tim the Tatman, he hasn't had the best experience playing the game that is called Fall Guys. Yes, you may have seen it somewhere, whether that's on your social media. ESPN actually did an article just today at the recording of this podcast, so we will cover that in a little bit. But to give a little brief synopsis about Fall Guys, it is a game which is the way that they put it on their Steam site, which is where you can download all the games. It's Ultimate Knockout flings hordes of contestants together online in a mad dash through round after round of escalating chaos until one victor remains. Battle bizarre obstacles, shove through unruly competitors, and overcome the unbending laws of physics as you stumble towards greatness. Leave your dignity at the door and prepare for hilarious failure in your quest to claim the crown. Now, Matt, you actually have Fall Guys.
Yeah, that's a pretty accurate description. that was pretty on par.
So Matt, as being the person who's played the game, I myself would play the game, but I'm a Switch guy. It's only available out on the PS4 and for PC. So, Matt, I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about it? And just regular thoughts.
So I love it. Like it's one of those games where I feel like Tim's right. It is easy, but at the same time, like it's hard because like no, I've only played it like 3 times, and I haven't won yet, but I've gotten pretty far. It's one of those games where like you rage, like you can like get so mad at it, but it's not a game that I'm gonna like rage quit during. So like if I play like a game by myself, like Warzone or Fortnite, I don't play it by myself that often because if I don't do well, I just get frustrated and want to quit. Fall Guys, I don't know if it's the graphics or what it is, but like I get mad and I have fun like getting mad. Like I enjoy getting mad at this game because it is easy, but it's also challenging at the same time. Like it's taking the country by storm. I feel like everybody's streaming it, and I just feel like it's kind of one of those games that's gonna be around for a little while.
Now, Matt, I know number one, you actually streamed it not too long ago on our YouTube channel.
Did for like 2.5 hours.
And you didn't win.
No, but I came close. I was in the final round like 4 times.
You came close. I was watching it at the corner of my eye as
it's a little annoying because like it's 60 people in a game to start off, and then there's only 1 left. But they give you some team activities to do, but you can't communicate with your team while you're playing the game, so it's very hard and challenging. It kind of sucks that like sometimes, you're playing well in the solo races, and then it comes to a team activity and you lose and you're out. That's the only complaint that I have about it right now.
Yeah, I've watched because it's so hard being on the sidelines. It really is, Matt. But seeing a lot of people, I think they've come to a conclusion. I think the best thing that you have to do is actually play with a huge group. So that way, when you're on the team, you lessen the chances of playing with some random individuals when it comes to those team rounds. Yeah, when those team rounds come about. So there's a lot of strategy behind that. But within that, we have one of our streamers who we do follow, who does have a decent following. His name is Tim the Tatman. Tim has been basically put up to the challenge to at least get one victory royale, as we call it in the Fortnite world, but grab the crown as far as winning the game. He has played for 7 days, I think. ESPN reported he's played for 7 days. He hasn't won 1 game.
And this is a guy that like people expect streamers to win when you stream. Yes. Except for us, because we suck. We just do it for fun. But he actually like does this for a living. So like people expect him to be good, and it's kind of cool like watching a streamer play a game that he sucks at. Because like I guarantee I'm a better Fall Guys player than Tim the Tatman. I will say that right now. Even though I don't have a win yet, I've played less than him, and I just feel confident that like I'm gonna get a win at some point. Like it's gonna happen.
I feel like it. So number one, the thing is the power of social media has gone way beyond our expectations. But Fall Guys has literally been roasting him every single day as far as
Twitter
his
is
streaming.
phenomenal.
Oh my gosh!
They also already have like 800,000 followers already, and I feel like the game hasn't been out for that long. Is that right?
Yeah. I think it just recently came out a couple weeks ago. I actually let me look at the official release date if it
because their Twitter. I mean, they just keep roasting Tim, and they just keep like egging him on, and then you see like the friends that Tim's play with, like they keep egging him on, and he just keeps getting madder and madder, and it's hysterical when he goes on like a rage during his stream.
Yeah, so their official release, Matt, was August 3rd. So
oh wow.
So a couple weeks ago, but
yeah, it's only been like 2 weeks.
It's certainly been taking on as far as popularity, even with this whole Tim the Tatman quest for the crown. But What's been really crazy is Tim himself. So he's a Twitch streamer. Is that he's actually been getting very high view counts within his stream. But I watched a little bit of him today at lunch, and he was saying, he's like, some of you are even here not even to root me on. Some of you here just want to see me fail. And of course, like, everyone's like, yeah, like, that's the reason why we're here. Like, this is just to see you rage. And like, I think, Matt, you said a good point when we were playing Fortnite the other night, is that he's an entertainment gamer. He's a very good gamer at some points, but a lot of people go there for his personality rather than his skills.
That's why I first followed him, was because I saw highlights of him just like yelling on Twitter, and I thought it was funny. So I dropped their, I guess it's a subscribe on
A follow. Subscribe is where you
Twitch.
want to make a payment.
Okay, yeah. So I dropped the follow, and he is like, I'll watch him once in a while. He's just a funny guy to watch, but it's something like it makes him seem like down to earth, that there's actually a game out there that like he sucks at.
So I think he actually, not that I looked him up or anything like that, but our resident Fortnite sweat, Trent, my brother, was talking to me, and Tim actually lives in New York at the moment. So he actually lives, I don't want to say decently close to like my hometown, but like as far as New York ways, but he's actually moving to Florida this weekend. So like, I think at the release of this podcast, he's actually packing up and heading down to Florida to live in Florida. So yeah, I mean, he's been saying it when he's been live streaming. So I just, it's interesting, but you know, I feel bad for Tim, but also at the same time, I've been loving the entertainment that Tim has brought just based on him losing every single time. Now he's been close so many times, but I'll be completely honest, Matt, just based, I mean, I haven't played the game, so I really can't be speaking much, but he's been making a lot of dumb mistakes that I just feel like could be adjusted and he could do better.
Yeah, I mean, like, once you play a certain once you play a certain mode like so many times, you get familiar with how to win. Yeah. Like there's one called Hit Parade. I not win, but like I qualify for the next round every single time at Hit Parade, because like I know the exact route that I have to take. Like you do get kind of a memory, what's that, like muscle memory kind of deal like that. You get a little muscle memory of each mode and like what to do during each thing. It's just, it was funny, like the other day he had like 108,000 viewers, and like half the people were there to watch him lose. But that's also like every Twitch streamer out there, every YouTube streamer, they're gonna have people out there that watch just to hate him, just because they're a Twitter troll or an internet troll, I guess.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. So I'm really hoping that Tim, maybe before we know it, Tim will actually win a Fall Guys crown before we even post this podcast, and it'll be completely irrelevant. So we'll see what happens.
It's just been awesome to watch. It's been pure entertainment for like 4 hours a day.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of funny because his editor, his name's Whips. So his editor, and I guess he's one of the mods too for his Twitch stream, will actually put up like the State Farm commercial with a guy with a dollar bill with a fishing pole. Holy, you got to be quicker than that. Like, so
he has been getting absolutely roasted by everyone online. But I also think like he doesn't mind that, because like it brings more people to his page. So in a way, it's kind of like a good win for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's the same as when Drake and Ninja collabed, that they had the highest stream rate at the time. Yeah. And now Tim is just going through utterly just painful experiences with just a side of sass.
Yeah, it's that saying, any publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, especially us. So Tim, if you're listening, we love your show. We love your stuff. We hope you win.
I'll play with you sometime.
Yeah, we'll play. we'll shoot an at you, see what happens. But if you play it, if you're a listener, you play it at home, just let us know. Maybe you can actually squad up with Matt, and until it's not.
I'm always looking for people to play with.
But what about me?
Well, you don't have Fall Guys.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Why don't you get it on your PC?
We'll talk about that off recording. Okay. It's actually the university's computer. So.
Oh, well, I thought you had your own. Never mind.
I mean, I have my laptop, but I don't really know for that. No.
Do it. No. It's fun.
Well, yeah, I've seen. I want to play it, but I just don't have the facilities to do that yet, big man. So, well, speaking of college, we got a crazy fall for. I mean, who's we? Yeah, I mean, I guess I could say we, but
yeah,
a lot of college students are going through an interesting time of their life, whether they are seniors in college, grad students, or first years in college. And knowing that both Matt and I are well robust in college advice, and it is that time of the year, especially during this posting of this podcast, that many people are coming back to college. And I thought it would be a great idea, since both Matt and I have certainly shared some wisdom, words, and thoughts about college, to kind of share some, and, to kind of have the dialogue going about, this fall semester. I mean, we're not experts in the coronavirus, and we're not experts in this current situation as a whole, but I feel like we have to drive past that. I mean, we have to drive through it cautiously, but we kind of have to drive past it because it's still the college experience.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a weird semester for everyone. Like you said, first year, senior, me as a grad student, it's still going to be interesting.
Your last semester.
Last semester, thank God.
Yeah.
But
Damn school, as you said.
There's always good things that are going to come out of every situation, good or bad, and there's going to be good things that come out of this.
Yeah, no, I certainly agree. So, Matt, I don't know if you came up with a list or anything like that, but I'm just going to turn it over to you. What would be a piece of advice that we could give to some college students if some people are coming in as college students during this podcast?
So for a first year?
Anybody.
Okay. For first years, I would say don't let this year or semester define your college career, because there might not be so many activities or clubs that are doing things on campus if you are on campus, or if you're not on campus at all. Like, don't get frustrated by how this year goes. It's going to be a good challenge for you, and if you can get through your first year of college, whether doing it all online or the crazy rules that campuses have to keep you guys safe, which it's to keep you guys safe. Don't let it define your college career, because at some point things are going to start getting back to normal. That may be next fall, who knows? It could be the spring. Nobody knows. But it's you got to keep an open mind and just kind of persevere through this semester. I think that's the biggest thing for incoming students right now.
I'm just going to take that piece of recording. I told you that I'm this class advisor for this incoming first year class, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm just going to take that and be like, here's what a podcast has said about your first year of college. And I'm not going to mention that it's our podcast. That way we get listenership, we get followers, and we get more people to be a part of the podcast. But
see, there's so much wisdom between us.
Oh, dude, absolutely. But Matt, you make a great point. The fact that, a lot of your college years are based on years, not college year. So I think certainly bringing that out, as far as, first year, or freshman, as some people call it, is a experience that you'll never, ever have again. Just because it's a transition. You're going from high school to college, and this is your first time being away from home. This is the first time that you're living with somebody. This is the first time that you're on your own. There's so many different obstacles, and there's so many different varieties that you can come up with. But Matt makes a great point, as far as, just kind of keep your head up, keep on with the semester, and hopefully that things will get better in the spring. Everybody wear your masks, get tested if you have to, know the signs, know the symptoms. And I think you're able to kind of to benefit from the semester. And, I think to kind of tag along on your words of advice, it's, just because this is happening doesn't mean you have to be stuck in your residence hall. Like, you don't have to be sitting there and just, saying, well, I can't sit, I can't go out. Well, I'm not saying go out, but I can't socialize. I can't do this. Like, I think the best thing about this incoming class is the fact that they have already been accustomed to a lot of the things that is currently going on that we're utilizing, whether that's Zoom parties or online videos, or you ever see those things with Netflix that, like, you can log into your Netflix account and it can be a theater style?
Yes,
like,
that is pretty cool.
Doing those things, it's not the same as meeting up with your buddies in the cafeteria and just enjoying yourselves with each other. It's honestly keeping, you can build relationships through Zoom, as weird as that sounds. Look at long distance relationships. Look at those people that have met. You ever see those not weird stories? You ever see those unique stories of couples that have met online, have never met in person?
Yeah. No, it's wild to think about, but you make a good point.
It's like that. So I think it really is recommended that, even though this semester is kind of weird, that you actually keep on with the semester as if it was normal within the segmented guidelines that are provided within each institution respectively. But Matt, I know with us, senior year is another challenge that some people may be facing because it is their last year of college. It's their last year. Now, of course, some people may have had great experiences, whether that's socializing or their academic success or their extracurricular success. But senior year is really where you hone down on a lot of your things and you really focus on what that next chapter is. And under the circumstances, what are your thoughts on some seniors as far as their final semester, their fall semester, I should say?
So first of all, it would be to set an example for the younger classes. So, following the rules and, giving advice if, reaching out to your friends who may be juniors, sophomores, or first years. If you run into some first years, just asking how things are, if helping them out if they need any help or someone to talk to. I think it's also a good time, even though it might be trying to focus on classes, making some connections in the real world, I think would be a good start, whether that's LinkedIn or, just maybe trying to get an internship somewhere. Especially if you have some online classes, doing an internship might be able to just help you out in the future, because it is a weird time for people leaving college, trying to transition into the real world with full-time jobs. So it's going to be pretty competitive, and not saying that, it's impossible to get a job, but it's going to be competitive. So I think making connections would be a good thing to start. Maybe not doing it right away, but it's something to think about in your head of, getting past this crazy semester and getting into the real world. And then the final thing I would say is don't stop making memories. Like you said, there's ways you can still hang out with your friends, even if it's virtually. Don't feel like, your college career is ruined because you didn't have a traditional senior year. You can still make the best out of it.
No, you're absolutely right, Matt. And I forget, I'm trying to remember where I heard that CEOs actually have more time now because of the restrictions and guidelines that are being set. So this is kind of your personal opportunity. I mean, we always say in relationships, not in relationships, but when you're trying to start a relationship with somebody is to shoot your shot. This is literally your perfect opportunity to shoot your shot with just a 15-minute conversation with the CEO and how you can get your foot in the door with any company or business. It's just one of those things where I think, I don't want to say that I feel like that's one of the reasons why we had Trevor on the show, was just because Trevor had much more time being in quarantine, that he had time. Yep. He had time on his hands. Not saying that we didn't have time on our hands, or we did. It's just how it works out. And I feel like you can get a lot of advice and get a lot, even just the foot in the door, because somebody's going to remember that they took the time to have a conversation with you, but you actually answered some well thought out questions that were helpful in the situation that would help you get to somewhere. So don't be afraid to reach out to any individual, whether that's the senior level executive or CEO or just somebody that works in a position that you would want to be a part of. Because I'll be completely honest, I don't think anybody is even the least amount feeling that, what was I going to word it as? Nobody does not like talking about themselves. Right. So, I mean, some people to a certain degree, I mean, I feel like for us, we like talking about ourselves, but it's
kind of comes to throw it in a podcast.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it kind of runs with it, but I mean, I think people will understand, and I think people will appreciate that you are reaching out and you're trying to hustle. Like, you're really trying to hustle. So,
and you don't always have to sell yourself right away. You can just ask for advice on, how to enter the real world or any experience needed to get this kind of job and stuff like that. Because people in the industries, they do talk to each other. Even if they don't always work in the same company, they do talk amongst each other. So if you reach out to a bunch of different people, your name's going to get floated out there at some point.
And who knows, you may actually land something for, because one person had a conversation with another person, they need that certain person in that job level position. And it's
all about connections.
Right. It's, the biggest lesson is you got to network. Say that 20 times fast.
Can't say it enough.
Nope. Can't say it enough. But, I think it's really important. But, for everybody in between, I feel like you just headstrong, work on either the transitioning out of first year, and then, or if you're like a junior, work on that transitioning into senior year, because you will have more time. And you'll have that opportunity to kind of grow and learn from this experience. And I'll be completely honest, welcome to the real world, because so many other places and businesses and employees are currently going through the same thing you're currently going through with restrictions and guidelines.
Yeah, that's a good point. A lot of people don't think of that, but it really is a whole new age we're in right now for a little while.
Yeah. And it just, like we said, follow guidelines, wear your masks, get tested if you have to. And, if anybody needs any advice, feel free to give us a shout or DM us on social media, because I think Matt and I can certainly, whether it's a double answer or just a single answer, I think we both are certainly available as an outlet for anybody
Absolutely.
who needs it. So good luck with college. Matt, good luck with your final semester of college. Can you
Can't
believe
wait.
that?
It's I'm so close. I can't wait. That's all I'm going to say.
You can't call it, it's drinking. No, I'm not even going to go into that.
No. Next topic.
Well, that's actually all the topics for the entertainment segment. So, but we will take a short, quick break. But when we come back, Matt has some very interesting topics. It's full of sports. You know how it is. Don't go anywhere. Matt, I got to tell you, I am so happy we're continuing to make more episodes for our podcast.
You're so right, Mike. I really am enjoying hearing how awesome each episode is every week from everyone. It's so easy to do.
It is so easy. And we have Anchor, our sponsor for this episode, to thank for. Anchor is free to anyone that wants to start a podcast. It's easy for beginners with the creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. It also helps distribute our podcasts so our listeners can tune in to their platform of choice, like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more.
And Mike, I gotta tell you, I was skeptical before, but we actually are making a profit off this podcast. We are still a small podcast, but it's nice to see the progress we have made with each episode with that money.
Yes, we are making it rain. Kind of. Anchor is everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's anchor.fm.
And who knows, you may start a podcast with your best friend.
That's right. Roommates for life. Now back to the podcast.
Okay, let's slide into the sports segments for today. It was a weird past week in sports. Not a whole lot of news. Not a whole lot of big news, but there was some news. But to start off, Phoneix Suns update. So last week we talked about how I thought they could beat the Lakers. Mike, I'm depressed. Very depressed.
I love how we had to talk you off the ledge, and now you just fully went off the ledge, and you're just depressed.
I got my heart broken before they even. So they went 8-0 in the seeding games in the bubble, only team to go undefeated, and they missed out on the play-in game due to a tiebreaker, and now we're done. So how do you have a team go 8-0 in the bubble, and then that's it? Their season's over. That doesn't make sense to me.
I think it boils down to the fact, Matt, that they should have done better during the season.
I agree with that. But then the tiebreaker should have been best record in the bubble when you tied with the Memphis Grizzlies, who went 2-6 in the bubble and then lost the play-in game to the Blazers anyway.
Yeah.
Then what's the point? Like, what's the point of playing like no position in 1 through 8 changed at all in any of the conferences. So then what the hell is the point?
Like, are you depressed or are you upset?
I'm both. I'm depressed because I was just so sad watching the game because they had a shot to make the play-in game, and then the Nets missed the shot at the buzzer against the Blazers that almost went in, and I was just so sad. And now I'm just mad now because they went undefeated. It's not fair. I know they should have done better in the regular season, but this was the first time all season they were healthy and had everybody, and it just sucks because they were so good. And now everyone's like, oh, you got to keep an eye on Phoneix next year. So now you're not going to come in under the radar because everyone is going to come in and try to beat you. So now they got to play even better, which I do think they will make the playoffs next year. But I just would have loved the season playoff basketball this year for my Suns because I haven't seen it since 2009.
Steve Nash?
Yeah. Longest playoff drought in NBA right now is the Phoenix Suns. Yeah.
Steve Nash and was it Amari on the team?
Yeah, Stoudemire. Oh,
Stoudemire.
Those were the days.
Yeah.
Any other news in the NBA playoffs? So it started on Monday. Today, as of this recording, the 8-seed Orlando Magic upset the 1-seed Milwaukee Bucks in the first game. They won by 12. I didn't get a chance to watch the game, obviously, because I was golfing. But it seemed like they manhandled them because the whole time I was checking the score, the Magic were up and up and up.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance.
In trouble.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch the game. I think it's just a clear just shock that the Bucks just had to go through in order for them to be like, okay, now we actually got to do this right. Like we got to do it the right way that we got to.
They really weren't playing that well in the seeding games either. And Giannis got suspended for the last game. Did you see that? He headbutted a dude.
Yeah, that was insane.
Yeah. How do you only get a 1-game suspension for headbutting someone? That's what I want to know, because that seems a little low.
But then Porzingis, that whole
that
Dallas
dumb.
Mavericks getting some type of engaging in the altercation and then ending up being thrown out of the game because you were insinuating that. Just it was a mess.
Yeah, that was
Twitter
a
was going
mess
off
because he came in to just break the guys up from yelling at each other, and he just shoved them to the side. Like, he didn't shove them, but he put his arm out and tried to like break them up, and he got a technical foul, which was the second of the game, and then he got ejected, which changed the whole course of the game, by the way.
What is this? What is this? Amateur hour? Like
Yes.
it just.
But the first round, there's no matchup that really excites me in this first round. Like, the Rockets Thunder will be fun because it's Chris Paul versus James Harden, who Chris Paul came out today and said that they don't talk, like, at all.
I'm not surprised.
No, he says they don't have beef, but they don't talk. So which is it? It seems like you got some beef if you don't talk to each other. But the first round just doesn't intrigue me as much. Now, maybe if the Bucks lose, that'd be awesome, just to create some chaos. But it's just nice to have playoff basketball on during the day. It's like 1:30 in the afternoon. You get to watch baseball or basketball. It's pretty cool. Moving on to MLB. So the Indians made some news. So they had 2 of their starting pitchers, Mike Clevenger and Zach Plesac, I believe is his name. They, like I said, starting pitchers for the Indians, and they were caught going out, breaking protocol, and going to, I don't know if they went to a restaurant or a bar, but they broke protocol for COVID-19, and the team and the players, their teammates, were very pissed. They had a team meeting to kind of clear the air, and apparently there was a lot of yelling, and everybody was very much against those two. And one of the veteran pitchers, Oliver Perez, who's been in the league for, I feels like 17 years, it actually might be 17 years, came out and said that if they don't get punished, that he's going to quit and opt out for the season. So what ended up happening is Clevenger and Plesac got sent down to the alternative site, which is kind of like the minor league camp for this season.
It's like was it the taxi
squad? Yeah.
Taxi squad.
So they're going to stay down there for 10 days, which is pretty significant because that's at least 2 starts each. And their starting rotation had, I believe they have the best ERA in baseball so far. And the Indians are fighting for a playoff spot. So it really does, it's kind of not cool, but it's good to know that teams are actually punishing their players now for breaking protocol, since Rob Manfred's just not going to do anything about it.
Yeah, I first didn't know, Matt, that there was actually protocol that like people had to follow with the MLB. Like, I thought it was just kind of like go as your own. Like, I thought it's not as strict as the bubble, but certainly everyone's kind of taking initiative to take on, to stop the spread of COVID. But you could have Lou Williams going to a gentleman's club and kind of be completely fine with it. But I feel like it's sports. And I think, again, I'll bring back a discussion that I had a long time ago, is that sometimes business is business. And, it's the same situation. Maybe you're working in an office setting, and somebody goes out and possibly contracts COVID and doesn't tell anybody and comes back to work. Do you know how upset people are going to be if somebody comes back to work knowing that somebody they were working with has COVID and it erupts? I would be frustrated. I would be absolutely frustrated, and I would be in that room that they were in yelling and screaming, because how stupid can you be? I hate to say it. How stupid can you be? Get takeout. Get, delivery, Postmates, DoorDash, Uber Eats, something. You have the money to do that. Why jeopardize your entire team in the possibility of contracting the virus?
No, I agree. I mean, we've already seen the Marlins had an outbreak. The Cardinals players got caught going to a casino. They had an outbreak, and now the Cardinals, they have to play 11 doubleheaders the rest of the season, which is just insane. They played a doubleheader on Saturday, doubleheader on Monday, and I believe they play a doubleheader on Wednesday as well, which is it's absolutely insane. So you're putting, like you said, you're putting your teammates and your staff members and coaches in jeopardy. Especially, people don't think about this, but like a lot of baseball coaches are pretty older, like 50s, 60s. If they get it and like they have a compromised immune system, could possibly not end well. And it's very selfish. Now the only other thing is like should the MLB, and I guess this goes back to Rob Manfred, should they be like suspending these players? Like it's kind of sucks that like the team has to do this themselves when the league should be setting the rules for it.
It would make a difference if they were in a bubble. And I feel like I hate to put the NBA's model in place, but I'm going to have to. But, having the NBA, Julius Caesar, NBA, the fact that, they're in this bubble format and it's ran by the NBA, MLB is a little bit tougher because you're doing different clubhouses, you're doing different stadiums, you're still across the United States. So just bringing that competition together, it could be case by case in the sense that, you could have somebody who literally walks across the street from the ballpark to do a pickup and takeout, whereas somebody else can go to a restaurant, drive to the restaurant, be in a highly infected area, pick up the stuff, and there's so many different things. Whereas like NBA bubble, you leave the bubble, you're in trouble. Like there's nothing more you could say.
Yeah, I mean the MLB has started some protocols. Like they have a compliance officer that goes with each team now from stadium to stadium, which I think is a good idea. And maybe that's how these guys got caught. But if I was these guys, I'd feel pretty bad for what I did, and I wouldn't be upset if they sent me down, which they did. I don't know if they are upset, but like you can't be mad at the team for that. Like you're the ones that put everybody else in jeopardy. Like you did it to yourself.
Yeah.
Other big news in baseball: the Yankees. We're both Yankees fans. They just can't stay healthy. They just can't. Last year they set like a major league record for how many players went on the IL, and this year we're like, I think we're actually like close to halfway through the season, maybe like a quarter of the way through the season. Aaron Judge is out, Giancarlo Stanton out, DJ LeMahieu, who's the hottest hitter in baseball and just a machine, is out 2-3 weeks. They just can't stay. They refuse to stay healthy. I don't understand why. What the hell? Like we went through this last year.
Yeah.
They got off to such a good start. Stanton was on fire. Judge is on fire. LeMahieu's on fire. Out of the lineup. Like, are you kidding me?
I think it really what it goes down to is just the fact of how big these machines are in the sense that
a lot of people don't think about that.
Right. Like, I mean, Judge, by God, that dude is a giant. But, like we have seen and understand, like I don't want to say I'll take Andre the Giant because it's kind of fake wrestling, but the harder hits that Andre the Giant had to go through in the ring back in WWE, WWF at the time, the more possibilities there were of him being injured. But as far as these guys got muscle, these guys got power. These guys are ripping the ball. Like, no, Judge is not a single base hitter. Judge is not a base hitter. No, neither is Stanton. And LeMahieu, I mean, he's, bouncing back and forth, but he's a very versatile player. And then you also have the fact that Judge is an outfielder. LeMahieu is
second base.
So there's a lot of ground that people are picking up, and it's not like it's I hate to throw the Red Sox, but it's not like it's a I almost said Manny Ramirez. I'm thinking of a really good DH hitter,
David Ortiz.
Big Papi. All he had to do was sit there and hit the ball. Like he didn't have to go out in the field, but just the utilization of these players is, it's hard. It's a difficult time, and you can't say, well, it's the coach. It's not the coach. It's the player, and the player just needs to stay healthy in any way that they can.
It is funny because like people always do say like our baseball players getting too ripped, which like it kind of makes sense. Like you do have to be you do have to be very agile to be a baseball player, and if these guys are like ripped with like huge muscles, which is good, like that's why they're good players, because they can hit the ball 480 yards out of the stadium. But at the same time, when they're trying to run in the outfield, they're just trying to swing a bat. I mean, the Yankees had like 2 guys this year get injured swinging a bat. How do you do that? Like, it does make you wonder, like, what's the ideal like body shape to be a baseball player?
And meanwhile, I'm pulling my shoulder because I'm trying to open up a jar of queso.
I was worried I was gonna throw my back out today golfing, but it's just you never know. Like LeMahieu literally sprained his thumb swinging at a ball, and he's out 2-3 weeks. It's insane, and he's not even like super jacked.
Yeah, I think it really boils down to just the players. Like the players just got to be a little bit more careful, mindful, and working on things. Like, yeah, you can work up muscle all you want, but you got to work on something to put a foundation in it, because you cannot pay attention to that, because this is what's happening every single season. And if it's happening every single season, number one, your contract goes down because you're not performing at the highest level that you can. And number two, you're playing less games. That means players in the caps, management in the cap space may be like, well, he's only played how many games out of the season and he's injured. We might want to release him. So there's so many different things besides the player itself that does play a factor and a role in possibly him retaining or staying in the season itself. But I digress.
It was also interesting to see Judge. He has like a leg strain, which, by the way, he got put in the IL last week. He came out like 2 days ago and said he's perfectly healthy. Like, he could play right now. He begged the team not to put him on the IL because he said he knew he was going to be healthy in like 3 days. They didn't listen, and now he's out like another week because he has to stay on the IL, which kind of sucks. He also came out. Yeah, go ahead.
Is it load management? Like, is that kind of
No.
like?
So when you get put on the IL, like it's for 10 days.
Yeah, I understand, but like it's almost similar to load management, right?
It is, but I think they thought he was going to be out longer than they expected. So they didn't think he was going to be healthy in 3 days, which it turned out he was.
They're trying to be proactive instead of reactive.
Yes,
to that
because
situation.
when you put someone in the IL, then you can replace them. If they wouldn't have, then he would have just been sitting on the bench, and they wouldn't have had an extra player to play.
Gotcha.
So I guess that part makes sense. He also came out this week and said that he kind of aggravated the injury playing in Tampa on turf, which is also another thing. Some guys play half their season on grass and then have to travel on turf. So he said every time he goes to play on turf, he's now going to wear tennis shoes while he's warming up. So he's going to switch up the shoe because apparently he's trying to avoid a leg injury, which, listen, I'm all for if it keeps you healthy.
Yeah, I remember that I used to have a hard time myself when I played soccer when it came to grass versus turf. We had a regular grass field, and when it came to turf, I always found myself hurting much more because of the different things. So that's not something that's a complete lie. Like, that's legit as far as Judge's claim for that.
Yeah, absolutely. The only thing that's making this a little easier as a Yankees fan is we just swept the Red Sox.
Yeah.
I was not missing them. The Red Sox are an absolute train wreck.
Yeah.
Absolute train wreck. They have zero pitching. Worst team in the American League. It's awesome. It's so awesome.
I love in the show notes you literally go, at least the Red Sox suck.
They do. It just makes baseball so much better. Like, the Yankees have just killed them the past 2 years. They've won 10 straight games against Red Sox, which I believe is their longest streak since like 1956 or something like that.
It's a long
insane.
streak.
But baseball is so much fun when the Red Sox suck. And then when the Yankees are good. Last sports topic before we get to take it today, I have an announcement. I've been watching some hockey. And, Mike, I would like to live on this show announce my NHL hockey team fandom.
Oh, what? Really?
Yes. I've been after some careful consideration.
I thought you were gonna pull a jersey up, but you were actually pulling a Gatorade bottle up. I was like, wow, Matt was like super planned for this.
I don't think you're gonna like this, but I am declaring myself a Philadelphia Flyers fan. I know.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Listen, they're a cool team. Here's the other thing.
Why? Because of Gritty? I know.
No, Gritty is the best mascot in hockey.
He's a great guy. I understand that, Matt.
Great mascot.
I just
listen. I'm a Yankees fan.
It's almost the same as saying that you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan.
No, it's not. Are you kidding me?
You're becoming a part of Philly. You're becoming a part of Philly.
No, I'm not. I hate the Eagles. I hate the Sixers.
So what bothers me is that you're a Steelers fan. Why not go to the Pittsburgh Penguins?
Because Crosby's a little bitch.
Oh, and
no, Crosby's just a little bitch.
So all of a sudden, I remember a couple weeks ago we talked about hockey and how much we don't pay attention to hockey. Now all of a sudden you're this big hockey fan?
No, I'm not a big hockey fan, but I've been watching more hockey, and I like watching the Flyers because I enjoy them more. I don't know. I've enjoyed watching their games more. It's fun. Like, they have a rookie goalie, Carter Hart, and it's fun calling his name Carter Hart. Like, that's just an awesome thing to do. It's that we're going to be doing for the next 15 years because he's like 20. Listen, I can't just root for the best team in every sport. Like, as a Yankees
Penguins
fan,
aren't
a
even the
Steelers
best
fan,
team.
I'm a Duke basketball fan. Like, I get wrecked every day for just liking teams because they win. I need the Suns and I need the Flyers to kind of like bring that
need a
level
balance.
down. Like I need to root for some sports teams that aren't going to be the best of the best every single year.
So you feel
Maybe
bad for the Flyers.
No, I don't. But I also, they're the only team that I can watch locally.
That's
like,
what I was
the
gonna
only
say.
games
I was
that
like,
can
here's
get
the
to watch
factor.
locally.
I was like, here's the factor that plays into it. It's the only hockey team you're able to watch based on your
Yes,
channel listings.
that's a fact. Now, obviously the playoffs I can watch more, but if I'm going to be a fan of the team, I want to be able to watch the games. And I'm only able to watch some Suns games. I don't know. Like I've been to a Flyers game. The atmosphere is pretty cool. And like I can also like if I want to go see a Flyers game, it's like an hour and a half drive. Like it's really not that bad.
That's not
Like
bad.
it sucks being a Suns fan because like I've never seen them play in person.
We got to go to Philly one day and watch the
We
Sixers
should.
play against the Suns.
I was supposed to go to a Suns.
Yes,
Sixers
you
game
were.
this year, and it got
Damn
canceled.
COVID.
COVID happened like 2 weeks before.
Dang
Pissed.
it. That sucks.
But the Flyers are looking like they're going to advance to the next round. Hockey playoffs remain the best playoff sport in the history. And I think that's all for the sports segments for today. It's now time for everyone's favorite way to end this podcast. It is time for Take It. So I have an interesting one for this week.
So wait, the Flyers weren't the Take It segment?
No, Flyers was not the Take It segment. That was just me
okay.
declaring I'm a Flyers fan.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yes. No,
All
that was not. I have a better Take It
Oh.
segment for this week.
I have a better one.
It's going to make you think because you only get to pick one.
Great.
So, if you could only choose one and one only, one cheese and only one cheese for the rest of your life to eat, what cheese would you choose? So you get one. Like for the rest of your life, you can eat it in different forms, but you can only pick one cheese. What are you taking?
Jenna loves cheese. Did I ever tell you that?
Who doesn't love
Like-
cheese? Like cheese is just the best.
She's like, you could get me anything in cheese, anything in chocolate. Not mixed, but anything in those coatings. Oh my goodness. It's,
Yes.
ah, man.
It's a tough choice because like
Does-
there's some good ones that are going to get cut.
Does queso count?
I mean, you can make queso out of the cheese that you choose.
I feel like if I have to be fair, I might have to go with mozzarella cheese.
It's a good choice.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like just because of the pizza and a lot of dude, when you said if you could eat anything, I literally was like pizza.
Mozzarella is the best pizza cheese of all time. That's true.
Gosh, dude, I've been making my Jenna made fun of me. It was more of just a discussion with my remember those pizzas that I was telling you about a couple weeks ago. So she puts pizza in quotation marks when she's talking to her like family and friends.
Why?
And I'm like, girl, it's a pizza. Why do you have to put quotation marks and call it pizza with quotation marks?
It looks like pizza.
It's I'm sorry, Jenna, but like just the simple fact that you're making the crust, you're making the cheese, you're making, I usually make a pretty damn good buffalo chicken and barbecue chicken pizzas, but she's like, well, I'd rather call it an inside out quesadilla, and I'm like, it's a pizza.
Isn't every pizza an inside out quesadilla?
Right. I didn't think about that until you said
think
it.
about it.
Right, you think about it.
Kind of is.
Mozzarella. Do I like cheddar? I'm trying to
I was gonna go with.
right now.
I think I'm going with cheddar.
Okay, you could keep cheddar. Because I have, I've been getting into the whole dad mode of having cheese and crackers, and I think
Yep.
I have cheddar as my choice of cheese with that. But
Cheddar. I was debating between mozzarella and cheddar. I was also thinking provolone because I love provolone, but provolone on pizza just doesn't.
yeah,
It doesn't seem good. The reason I'm going with cheddar is I feel like it's a little more versatile than mozzarella because you can eat it on a sandwich. Now you can eat mozzarella on a sandwich too. But I feel like mozzarella is the best on pizza, or unless you're having like a caprese salad. Love me a good caprese salad with some mozzarella balls. That's really like the caprese salad is the only thing that I couldn't do with cheddar. Cheddar, I feel like it's good for mac and cheese. You can make it with a pizza. It's good for a sandwich or on a burger or anything. I feel like cheddar's, I don't know. I like versatile cheeses.
yeah. I mean, I did a quick Google search because it's so. Isn't it funny how
There's so many.
right? Isn't it funny how there's so many cheeses and we don't even think like, oh my gosh, like this is so good. There's
And it's
actually,
funny, like we don't when you think about it, you only eat like the same like 5 cheeses. Like a lot of places only use like American, cheddar, mozzarella, Swiss, pepper jack, provolone.
you know what we completely just discounted?
What?
Gouda.
I'm not a huge Gouda fan, if
Really?
we're being honest. Yeah, I
Oh,
don't know. I
dude.
can't. I don't know. I just
Gouda
don't like
mac
the,
and
I don't like the
cheese.
taste of it. I'll pass.
We had Jenna and I. We went to Tipsy Turtle, and they serve some great turtle bites or wing bites, and they have the best Gouda crab dip.
now Gouda with
sounds
crab. I think would
fantastic.
be pretty good.
That's
Yeah.
yeah. I like I said, it's so weird how there's so many cheeses, and I feel like we don't actually like. You're making me think. Like I feel like we have to focus on like so many things. Like what's great is, I could put as weird as this is, I could put mozzarella on my salad and not like be totally against it. I could put it, so many things, and it's like just crazy that you had to make me think about it. But I thought when you said if you could only eat one thing, I was like pizza, and like I had to stick with it because I feel like that's the way to go.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, mozzarella is the best for pizza. No doubt. What's your least favorite cheese?
See, I don't feel like I've had the opportunity to like say, oh my gosh, like this is not good cheese.
I've had horseradish, like cheese with like
Okay,
horseradish in it. That's bad. It's way overpowering.
Yeah. How many different types? How many different?
There's
types?
got to be hundreds.
There
gotta
is
be hundreds.
approximately.
It has to be.
Oh wait.
What'd you type in?
I said how many different types of cheese are there, and this is Quora, so I don't know how accurate this is. It
Okay.
says somewhere between 8 and 10 types of cheese exist, which can be then subcategorized into many thousands of varieties.
Yeah, I mean, there's especially when you start mixing cheeses. Like, I don't know if that makes other cheeses not. Now, do you prefer, like, if you have like a slice of cheese on a burger, like, do you have a specific slice of cheese you like and a specific block cheese?
Crap.
Because there is one block cheese for me, like if I'm eating crackers, that is the best, but I wouldn't
Yeah.
use it in everything.
Yeah, I had I have cheddar when it comes to my
cheese
cheese
and
and
crackers?
crackers.
Did you ever had Colby Jack?
I have. That's
Colby
good.
Colby Jack is phenomenal with crackers.
Yeah.
Like it is the goat cracker cheese.
I'm trying to think. I'm gonna embarrass I'm having a blank. It's yellow. Like
It's
straight,
like orange. No, it's
yes.
it's mixed.
Yes.
It's like orange with yellow.
Yes.
Yes.
What's that?
That's Colby Jack.
No. I mean for the burgers, like straight orange yellow. Or is it Colby Jack?
It might be Colby Jack, or it's Monterey. Which I'm not a huge fan of Monterey cheese.
For burgers.
I honestly, like
Cheddar.
any cheese on a burgers. Yeah, cheddar. Yeah,
Cheddar.
cheddar is probably the best. I don't know. Provolone on a burger is pretty good.
The colors just dude. Did I tell you about the burger I had when we went to Jim Thorpe?
Yes, you did.
It was
yes.
oh my gosh. I need to
Yeah.
announce it on this podcast. Oh my gosh, Jim.
We will
Thorpe.
give out a free ad for this restaurant.
Maroni?
This restaurant only. No, burger. The cheese is very important for a burger, especially
So,
if you
right-
have like certain toppings with it. Like you can't have like a certain type of cheese if it doesn't go well with the topping.
No, you're right.
That's a big throw off.
Absolutely right. I'm just trying to find this place because I want to make sure I get it. Found it.
Boom.
Marion Hose Bar. Is that HOSE? Yeah, Hose Bar.
Yeah.
Dude, wow. They already had the picture in the recently
it's like
visited.
they knew.
So it's called the Mac Chunker. You ready to hear this recipe for this Mac Chunker once this website loads? Because I'm
ready.
trying to get it. Okay, so the entrees, the Mac. I'm just gonna quick search this.
I'm
The
guessing
Mac
there's
Chunker.
mac and cheese on it.
So the Chunker. It is the Chunker. So the Chunker is a brisket, short rib, Angus beef blend burger, lettuce, tomato, onion, smoked ketchup, cheddar, and bacon jam. The bacon
Ooh.
jam was phenomenal, but
Yeah.
the Mac Chunker is the Chunker. atop farmhouse cheddar and Gouda mac and cheese.
That mac and cheese on a burger is very underrated. Very
Okay.
underrated.
Let me tell you, this thing was almost the size of my face. And Jenna, thank God, like, Jenna and I didn't have, like, our first date there, because it was so funny because the guy across from us from the table actually asked the waitress, so how do I eat this thing? And, like, meanwhile, here's me, like, completely a mess with my face all over it, my hands. Like, I did a pretty good job keeping it all together, but it just was, I was in heaven. I was in complete heaven. Girlfriend, food, beer, summer shandy. Oh, dude, I was having the time of my life.
Burger's definitely not a first date meal.
Yeah.
Definitely not. But it's once
Buffalo
you're like
chicken flatbreads.
once you're like 5 or 6 in, just screw it, go all out for
Buffalo chicken flatbreads. That's my idea.
Yeah, flatbreads are a good date.
Yeah, I'm
Good
just
date meal.
See, this turns out first date meals. I feel like. Do you think spaghetti's a good one?
No, it's a terrible one.
Yeah, that actually is
No.
true. I'm just.
No.
I haven't had a first date
Nope.
in a year and about 7 months. So
No, that's one of the worst ones.
a little washed up. Not that I want to be, but
What is it good? I feel like, I don't know. I feel like just getting like a fish.
really.
Yeah, I don't know. What's good? What do you think?
Well, I feel like, again, it really depends on what you want.
like a salad, nice salad.
No, dude, that's a cop out. Like, do you ever hear like some of the cliches? Like the girls are like, "Oh, I'll just have a salad." Like, no, like.
Well, it's gotta be something that's not messy.
Right. I mean, I'm just. I see. I feel like I went with the flatbread with the first date. If you couldn't tell.
I figured. I had a hunch.
Bar Louie buffalo chicken flatbread. Oh my goodness, it was fantastic. Wow. That's the only thing I get. That's literally the only thing I get.
Literally
when I go
every
to
time
Bar
you tell me
Louie.
you're there that you're eating a buffalo chicken.
Right. I can't steer away from it. See, I feel like having a light spaghetti of some sort. Like not like your traditional spaghetti and sauce. Like,
What if you do like a penne?
that's what I was gonna say that, like penny vodka.
Penny vodka.
Not with the. I feel like if you had the oh gosh, is it rigatoni?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the regular like screws. I call it the
Yes,
screws.
yep.
The screws and the
Yep.
cylinders.
Or like ravioli be a good one.
Right. Like you
Yeah.
have those that you can actually fit in your mouth instead of I feel like I get watched so often when I'm trying to actually eat spaghetti and it's actually spaghetti. Like
It is
angel
it
hair.
is weird eating spaghetti at a restaurant. Like you do feel like you're just blah blah blah.
Yeah, it's just how about Olive Garden with their oh wait, no, is it cheddar? It's their what do they that's
I
not
have
pepper.
no idea what you're talking
What
about.
what do they like they grind the whole like
That might be Parmesan.
is it Parmesan? I think it's
Might
Parmesan.
be. Also, Parmesan is
Yeah.
a hot miss.
That's a what? A hot mess?
Hot miss. Big miss.
A big
On
miss.
us.
I was like, a hot mess? Like,
Let's switch it back to cheese. What's your Mount Rushmore of cheese?
my Mount Rushmore. Dude, you're making me think with these things. I'd have to go with cheddar. Like, I feel like cheddar's my Mount. Oh, yeah.
Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore has more than
Top
one face,
four.
Mike.
Top 4. Especially after you just picked mozzarella and you just went with cheddar out of nowhere. Just completely.
Mike,
just
Mount
changed your
Rushmore has
pick.
more than one face. So cheddar, mozzarella, Gouda, and I
It's a tough choice. Got one more.
I'm trying to think. No, I was gonna say Swiss, but
Nah.
yeah,
Time's taken.
Time's up. Time's up. I don't care. I did
Okay.
3 out of the 4.
I'm gonna go
Dude,
with.
this is take it. This isn't you when you could sit there being like, oh, let me think of my 4 cheeses. Like,
I mean, everybody has their 4 cheeses off the top of their head.
Yeah,
I'm going
okay.
mozzarella, cheddar, provolone, and I'm gonna go Colby Jack.
I think if I had an additional, it'd probably be provolone, but it just
Oh,
didn't.
you can't go wrong with cheese in general.
No.
Even if it's like a cheese you're not a big fan of, if it's mixed in with stuff, like you're gonna be fine. Like people, like you're not gonna go out of your way to eat a slice of cheese you don't like. Like don't be afraid to order something if you don't like the cheese. If it's mixed in with stuff, you're gonna like it.
Well, Matt, you know what they say. It ain't easy being cheesy.
Nope,
So,
it's my motto I live by every day.
yes, you're freaking cheesy, man. Aren't we all? Yeah. But yeah, cool. Awesome. Great. Well, first podcast back on the virtual world. We're just being awful right now. But that concludes today's episode of the Funny Business Podcast. If you love it, if you're on Apple Podcasts, make sure you rate us 5 stars and leave us a review. It helps us get to the top of the broadcasting charts, get in competition with the Joe Rogan podcast and Call Her Daddy podcast and everything else, other podcasts that you can visibly think of. But make sure you share it with your friends. You can follow us on social media at Funny Business Entertainment, Facebook, Instagram, Funny Business EN on Twitter. We also have a YouTube channel that we upload all these episodes every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You also get to see Matt rage quit when it comes to Fall Guys, Fortnite.
No, I didn't rage quit yet. I didn't rage quit the other day.
I'm just saying it now, so that way it's already pre-recorded.
I am gonna rage.
Yeah,
that's a fact. I will guarantee that.
Just to a degree. Any Fortnite, any Warzone, if you still play that game itself.
Yep.
But
a little 2K.
do a little 2K, yeah,
Maybe.
and yeah, let us know what you think. Matt, any final thoughts? I know I really don't give you final thoughts, but
I need a nap. That's my final thought. Golf kicked my ass today. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, you're pretty out of shape.
Yeah, I mean that's also not true. Not wrong.
We were sweating when we were doing TikToks the other week.
Yeah, oh
Like,
my gosh.
God, I'm sweating.
That was insane.
It was
You-
definitely
grind
wasn't
don't
my
stop.
part of it. Oh yeah, grind doesn't
Grind
start.
don't stop.
So, but until next time, guys, we'll see you in the next episode.
Stay safe, everyone.